Hello viewers, welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship at a very sodden Donington Park. For those who've been watching all week, you certainly know that the rain has played a massive part in the entertainment. And when I mean entertainment, I really mean entertainment. You know, I think we've seen race after race after race where we've had cars going off. And to be fair, there's not really been many car-on-car issues. It's been more around, people going off track, struggling, fighting with, the water, the conditions, and so on. So I think from that perspective, it's certainly been really entertaining. Now, in relation to where we are in here, this is the Group 1 race, so these are the quick drivers. We've seen qualifying times from the 134s. I would have put the table up, but unfortunately I've not got the table at hand. I will try and do that while we're discussing this, and then we'll go into that. So what we'll do is we'll jump into qualifying, and we'll start riding on board with someone. I'll put the fastest laps up on the screen. As you know, I've got Jeremy with me today.
Hello everyone, great to be here today.
And we'll give you a bit of following around the tracks as part of the race, as we normally do. I'm still upbeat today, considering what happened yesterday. And for those who didn't know, haven't read the chat, didn't watch the stream, I've got a question why you didn't watch the stream. You really need to go back and watch the stream. So I qualified in 3rd place, and to be fair, I wasn't doing too bad. I think Jeremy will agree with that. I'd managed to pass Laszlo Nemeth quite early on. He made a mistake, and then quite a way after, I managed to keep up with Howells and then passed Steve Howells. Unfortunately, it didn't carry on as going well. I did a number of laps, keeping consistent, keeping the car on the track, no problems, felt really comfortable, thought to myself, I'm going to win this. And then I come out of the Wheatcroft straight, turn the corner, first bend. As I come out the corner, press the accelerator, and unfortunately the response of the accelerator was very lax. I actually thought, from my perspective, that I'd actually pressed the traction control, the mapping, and put it to the worst mapping possible, and thought to myself, what's going on? So anyway, carried on through the crane of curves, getting the car accelerating, decides to go through the crane of curves and turn left. So I thought. The car really didn't turn left as it should have done. I did get round the crane of curves. Comes in to go what was the old hairpin. Went to change down and brake. Absolutely nothing. And I thought to myself, now this isn't playing ball. I've got a bit of a problem. And consequently, I end up going off and hitting the wall at a hell of a rate of knots. That damaged my car. That's fair enough to say. It didn't end there though, because what I thought was, hold on a minute, I need to escape to the pits so I don't cause a problem. When I hit the wall, my car spun back, got stuck on the right-hand side of the wall. Sorry, the left-hand side of the wall, trying to turn right. And if you ever watch the in-car video, you'll see me trying to turn the wheel. I wasn't turning the wheel as the game was showing. It was doing what it wanted. Consequently, from my perspective, it meant I had no control over the car. So at this point, I'm pressing the brakes. I'm trying to change down a gear. Absolutely nothing. And I thought to myself, this isn't quite going to plan. What the hell am I going to do? It then took me across the track. Then hit another barrier. Again, I'm a complete passenger. I then come across the track as a passenger. And unfortunately, Jeremy hit me and I thought, I hope I haven't ruined his race. As it happened, I didn't. I then deliberately carried on straight. For some reason, I could control it going straight into the barrier. And I just kept hitting the escape button quickly. When I hit the escape button, it did come up return to garage. So I returned to garage. The irony of it was, Jeremy said my car was lagging. I had no issues. I could see everything. But I couldn't change gear. When I got into the pits, everything was working fine. So what a glitch that was. And I'm not really happy about it. But that's racing. I've got to take it on the chin. So what I've been able to do is get the table sorted while I've been gassing on and sharing my story with you. And as you can see, it's being dominated by Pete. And we've got Carlo. So I think this is where the race is going to be won or lost today. It's extremely important to keep the car on track here. Extremely important. I've been watching these guys, aka the aliens. And you know what? They are human, because some of the fast guys have been going off track. They've just been trying to sneak that extra bit of track, that extra bit of greed into corners, and they've been going wide. So consequently, I do think we're going to see some of these guys going off track as well. So for the guys who've been in Group 3 and Group 2 and thought, I've had a disastrous race, make your mind up at the end of this. So we've got Pete leading it, Carlo, Andrea, 515, 476, 420. We've got Chris Bourne, 397, and John Saunders, 346. He's on an equal footing with Lars, both on the 346s. Then we got Reese Wiggin. Have I seen Reese Wiggin actually? This is the second week we've not had Reese Wiggin racing, so I do think he's going to drop down. We've got I think we've definitely got David Gerrard and David Noble, because I think I've seen David Noble's name before. Just let me check. Yeah, both David Gerrard and David Noble are racing. So I think anyone up from, well, to be honest, it's anyone in this group. I've not seen Merch's name. Is Merch racing? No Merch Parnov this week.
He's not. No, he's not.
So I wonder if he's
That's
back.
strange.
I wonder if he's had another bit of a problem and end up back in hospital again. If you're watching Merch, just give us a thumbs up and let us know you're all right, mate. But yeah, I think anything can happen in here. Also, I'm just looking. Eric Dont's not racing, but then again, some of the drivers have decided the conditions aren't worth it. You can't be a racing driver on a sunny day because you don't always get guaranteed a sunny day, you know. So
That's right.
you've got to stick with it. So anyway, let's jump straight back to qualifying. And as it stands, Keola's done a 134 flat. Now that is lightning. Carlo's done a 134.1. Lars has done a 134.4, as has David Gerrard, as has Pete Wolfslaner, and David Noble's a 134.5, as is Chris Bourne, as is John Saunders. Derek's in the 134.7s, as is Neil Bywater, as is Nelson. Jonathan Wood's in the 134.9s, then the remainder of the drivers are in the 135s or 136s. So just to put this into context, the fastest qualifying lap yesterday on the Group 2s, if I recall, was either a low one. I think actually someone got into the 134.7s.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe today we're going to see 133.8, 133.9, but it's going to go down to 133.
Yeah.
I mean, Group 1 manages always to pull at least a second faster to 2 seconds faster than Group 2.
So Keola here, who we're on board with, is fast as a 134 flat. He's just been nipped by David Gerrard. However, Keola here is half a second up. So he's going for a 133.5, Jeremy. A 133.5.
Incredible.
That is absolutely unbelievable.
Absolutely.
That is another...
I don't know how they do this one. I don't know how they do this one.
That's not just another league. That's a different track. You know, and he's going faster again. He's 2/10 up already in this lap, so he's really throttling the car around here. We'll just ride on board with him for this lap just to see how much he gains. He's now 3/10 up. He could make the 132s here in reality. That would be 2 seconds clear potentially of anybody else. He's now 4/10 up. The guy is not slowing down. He's half a second up. He's in the 133.5s and he's just under half a second up. He's lost a bit of time through there. Yeah, he's just struggling to get the power down now. I think he's on that point of limitation of traction where he can't physically get the car to drive without the wheels slipping in the wet.
Well, you probably noticed something as well in these conditions. In qualifying and as well during the race, you keep going faster as you go.
You do.
It's a very interesting phenomenon because you don't experience this or I never experienced that on a dry track. And I thought it was really fascinating. I guess because rubber is left on the track with when you have about 19, 20, 25 cars and you gain more traction as you go. You know, but so yes, I wouldn't be surprised if they drop into the 132s at one point.
Yeah, a lot of drivers seem to have hit the limits already now. So I was on board with Derek Bird then. He's not bettered. Let's go on board with John Saunders. He's just started a lap. Let's go to the chat first of all. Good day, Terry T, David Blythe, Peter David, fast corner scared. Terry Howard, hi Terry, hi Steve. Brilliant race yesterday, unfortunate towards the end. Looking in them mirrors, what are mirrors for? Get yourself VR, you won't look at them then. Hi, Stefan. Who else is in there? Let's read what you put in.
Hello, everyone. And by the way, Steve, I never thought I would pass you. I thought I settled into second position yesterday, and I said, okay, that's it. And in during that last lap, when you made that mistake, even coming close to you, I was afraid of pushing and taking any useless risk. So I really didn't expect to win that race yesterday. I mean, you did a terrific job yesterday. Congratulations.
We've got Dave T, Sim Racing Elite. Hi, Dave. Who else have we got? We've got Billy. Hi, Billy. We've got Mark Christopher. Mark Rogers is not racing, he's man flu. That's not an excuse. Hi, Frank. Frank's in the house. Hi, Andreas.
Hello, Frank.
Yeah, I will say, Steve, for being in the Ferrari yesterday, you put up a good fight, because I think it's proven yesterday that the Aston did seem to do well, and Andrea's in the Aston, and he's dominated
Definitely.
in this. So I think the Aston's definitely suitable on this track.
Absolutely.
So doing what you did in that Ferrari yesterday, was credit to yourself. I think where the Ferrari struggled was getting the power down after the Craners and through the old hairpin, because that's the thing where you, from your perspective, I seem to gain on you quite a lot. You were quick on the straight, but through this bendy bit, up to Coppice, you just seem to lack a little bit of pace. So I don't know if the Ferrari had problems putting the traction down in the first place. But awesome race, mate. You did really well. And that battle with
Absolutely.
you and letting me pass when you did, total respect to you. If you're ever gaining on me like that, the gesture will be repaid. I'm not one for fighting unnecessarily, so I do appreciate that. Hi, Craig.
Salut, Michel.
Hi, Michelle. And
Yes,
hi,
so,
John Wilson. Hi, John.
Hello, John. It's I'm stunned right now because we have Peter Wilslander with 7 minutes to go, P10. Carlo, P6. And right now, Kayola and Chris Bourne managed P2.
Yeah.
Half a second. He's also lapping in the 133s. So we are seeing a little change here in Group 1 at the top. And David Gerard in P3. Lars in P4. So that's very interesting. Maybe the 5 last minutes of quality is going to change everything. We'll see.
Yeah, Peter's 2 to 3 tenths up. He's lost time now. Nelson's 2 tenths up. He's now lost a bit, but he could actually jump Peter Wolfslaner here and put Peter into 11th place. No, Nelson's lost all his time. He had 2 tenths in the bag, and just coming out the Melbourne hairpin, he's lost time. Now Peter is 3 tenths up, and Peter's now in 6th. So he's responded, it's fair to say. David Gerard is 2 tenths up. Just take this opportunity as we're on board with David Gerard to acknowledge our sponsors of ACC TV, PWS Clean Equipment, Precious Washers.co.uk. If you're in the house for clean equipment for your garden, commercial properties, pop over to the website. They've got some fantastic things. They sell things I didn't even know you could buy, to be fair. So take that opportunity to go over there and just see what they've got. And if you're an eSeniors member, I do believe Mr. Newton said he'll give us a bit of a discount. So don't know what that discount is. You might have to haggle, but it's good to know that. So yeah, just want to make sure PWS get the thank you and acknowledgement for doing that for us.
Yeah, Lars is really doing good lately. I mean, he came back because he was he kind of lost his rhythm. In the first season, he was very dominant. In the second, not as much, but he seems to be coming back into the fight here. It's good to see.
Just a note for Mr. Blythe in the chat. I've just sent you a link on Discord to ACC TV. So it's a subscription-based piece of software. They do give you a trial, and that's obviously what we use to stream the races. Obviously, I use OBS to get the picture to YouTube, but the changing of the cameras, concentrating on what's going on, I'm not using ACC at all for that. I'm doing it all through this software, so I can change the angles to the helicam, dead easy. I can go to the TV1 camera, I can go to the TV2 camera, which is a little bit further away. I can go to the helmet cam, I can go to the dash cam, I can go to the cockpit, I can go to the dash pro, which is one stuck at the front of the bonnet. I can go to the bonnet cam, might come in handy today. I can do far chase, or I could do close chase, you know, and I can go to the rear wing and see what's going on. So when you see me changing all these angles, it's a software that's giving me the ability to do that. I think qualifying settled down now. I think this is what we're going to see.
Definitely.
I think everyone's managed to rattle out what they can in the car. I will say, when we come to the race, because it's going to be over 50 minutes, I do think we'll see faster times, just because the track belt, you know, the track comes in better as you get the drivers going round lap after lap. Don't forget, qualifying's 20 minutes, and the guys are doing 1:33s after 20 minutes. After 40 minutes, they'll probably be matching that time, if not going faster. Granted, they've got more fuel, but I don't think actually fuel makes too much of a difference in the wet. Not that I didn't feel that yesterday. Did you, Jeremy?
No, I didn't actually. I like driving with a heavier car. I don't think it's a handicap. I mean, and yesterday I left with 85 liters, so I always put maybe 5-10 more liters than needed to race, and I don't think it's a handicap. And by the way, we can definitely confirm that the Aston Martin is a lot more at ease in these conditions on this track. Look at the Bentleys. Usually the Bentleys are 1-2, and right now they are 6-7.
Yeah, perfectly valid point. Good observation, Jeremy. So I was with Chris Bourne then, because he was looking like he was going to better his lap, but he's not. So John Saunders in the Ferrari, I made a comment with Steve Howells. He did really well with the Ferrari. The Ferrari's struggling around here. And you can see John Saunders, who's usually in the top 3 or 4, he's in 10th place. So I don't know whether it's the wet, whether it's the track, but the Ferrari's really struggling as well. Derek Bird in the Porsche, it also looks like the Porsche is struggling. So, you know, no one's making any... I will say Neil's doing a little bit better than John Saunders, but even Neil's in 8th place. So the Ferrari... Oh, and there goes Neil. Oh, he got a bit sideways, but he's managed to rectify it. Carlo, as we know, is in the Bentley, so he's the Bentley with Peter, but they're only 6th and 7th. David Noble is in the Aston. Lars Eklund is in the McLaren. So the and just to say that, John Saunders just proves me wrong with a 1:33.9 and gets himself into 4th place. So that was a cracking lap by John. Chris Bourne.
Yeah.
No, just say Chris Bourne in the Lexus. The Lexus seems to be very consistent anywhere. Now that might be the driver, to be fair, but it does seem to do really well regardless. And as we know, Andrea, who's in front at the moment, is in the Aston. So there's no one making great gains. Nelson's 2/10 up here, although he's losing time.
I just wanted to mention that Jonathan Wood is racing today. He's still wounded, but he told me he changed his driving position. He's driving closer to the wheel in order to change the angle of his arms and maybe reduce the pain while he drives.
So Jonathan Wood is currently in 13th place, so we'll keep an eye on that throughout the race actually, just to see where it brings him out. So Nelson's lost a lot of space there. The only other person on a relatively quick lap is Mark Stevens, who's in one of the orange Ferraris. He's down in 17th at the moment. He's 2/10 up, but on a 1:35.2. Anything else in the chat? No. Yeah, Peter's saying, Jeremy, how much fuel you had at the end. To be fair, I actually didn't put as much fuel in as Jeremy. What I normally do is do my calculations and then I add another couple of laps. And because it's in the wet, instead of adding 3 litres, you're adding about 2 litres. So I think I ended up with about 76 litres in total. So my car might have been slightly lighter than Jeremy's. But as I said, I don't think the wet matters with the fuel load. Of course, if you underfuel it, that's completely different.
Peter, I believe I finished with 10 to 14 liters extra at the end of the race. And I always do somehow. You know, I don't believe that 10 liters, which means 10 kilos, is going to make a difference in a lap. I don't know. Like I said, I like if it does affect the weight of the car, I rather drive a heavier car than a lighter car.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of qualifying now. I'm going to go to our introduction. Be right back. Okay, let's have a bit of a grid walk and take you from the movers and shakers for the start of this race. We've got just under 2 minutes to go. So on pole position with a fantastic time was Andrea Caiola in the number 67 Aston Martin. Then we've got the one of the PWS Aston Martins, the sponsors PWS, eSports of David Gerrard. Followed then in the next position by Chris Bourne in his usual pink liveried Lexus. And then next to Chris Bourne, we've got John Saunders in his usual blue and red Ferrari. Then we've got Lars Eklund in the red McLaren, and we've got David Noble in the green Aston Martin. We then have the two Bentleys side by side of Peter Wolfslaner on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side we've got Carlo Van Brabant. So this is the first time we haven't had the Bentleys shoving the noses at the front of the grid. Then behind that, we've got Nelson Abranhoser in the number 33 Martini, lovely liveried Aston Martin. And we've got Neil Bywater in the red and white Ferrari. We've then got Derek Bird in his usual black and gold liveried Porsche. And Tony Whitten in the deep purple blue Ferrari. We've then got Jonathan Wood in the green and white Lamborghini. And then we've got Chris Baker in the Sega liveried Aston Martin. Oh, something's happened there. Get myself back up. We've got Hugh Morris in the light blue Ferrari, and we've got Peter de Jong in what he calls the pink pig, i.e. the Porsche, and I'm getting quite a bit of jumping going on here. Behind that, we've then got Mark Stevens in the orange Ferrari, and then we've got Krista Hiort in also an orangey coloured Ferrari there. And then towards the back of the grid, we've got Dimitri Stathis in the red Ferrari. Jeremy Zaston will go to the pits on start. So that's very much it. Let's see where this takes us. We've got 6 seconds to go, and then it'll be trundling around the first few corners. Then it'll be lights out for green. Mark Christopher's just asking a question. No, Mark, you can join if you put the pit lane password in. You can join. Oh, and straight away, Chris Bourne's made a bit of a schoolboy error there. What's he done? He needs to get himself back in position.
Wow.
That was unexpected, shall we say?
Completely.
That bodes well for the start, doesn't it?
that will get the adrenaline going for sure.
Absolutely. Now the server will always show up, Mark Christopher, that you must be having your filters wrong, because I can guarantee you others will be on the server.
Yes, it does.
Green light. Go, go, go.
And it's lights out. Andrea's made a good start. David Gerrard's kept up with him. Chris has managed to get up the inside of Saunders. Now Chris is looking like he's going to take... and
David Gerrard.
Oh, was the car off? Lars has gone. There was contact there.
just rejoined now.
Yeah, Lars has lost a lot of places there. And we can see there the Lambo and the Ferrari behind. So there's 4 contacts there in that incident. Not too sure. I'm not going to go and do a replay because obviously it was the start of the race. But it looked like there was a bit of tapping, and Lars lost out massively in the McLaren. So let's see where this takes us.
That benefited Peter because Peter now is P4. Chris Bourne has the lead.
He does.
That's completely reshuffled the starting grid.
So let's have a look how it looks from inside the car with these conditions. There you go. That's what you're putting up with. You need to have confidence, not only in your braking points, but the person in front braking as well, because it's so easy to go where they currently are. And you can see there, Carlo's putting a lot of pressure. We're on board with Nelson, and Nelson's gone deep. Is he going to swing it round? Let's go to the helicam. And we've got a good run there. David Noble's also putting pressure on, as is Neil Bywater. Nelson's managed to keep the power on there, but he's being pressured by Carlo. David Noble's putting pressure on, and so is Neil Bywater. So they're coming around the first lap. The first lap really is a throwaway lap in relation to lap times. It's no respect over what the actual lap times are going to be. It just really allows us to settle down a little bit.
Close, P6, 7, 8,
Yep.
9, 10, 5 cars within a half a second.
So Peter de Jong's looking racing against Krista. So if you recall, Krista midweek had a bit of a mare. He seemed to spend more time off the track than on it. So hopefully he's done a lot of testing and a lot of practice this week to keep him on track. And we can see Dimitri's looking very, very fast behind. Peter is putting pressure on John Saunders, and David Noble is putting pressure on Carlo. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Lars is not giving in. Lars has got the car running. Luckily, he didn't hit a barrier, so his car is unlikely to be damaged, even from the tap. And I do expect... Oh, Chris Baker's off. That was no contact. That was a mistake. So Chris Baker in the Sega Aston is now at the back of the grid, and he's now trying to play catch-up with everyone. So that... it's so easy to do. Just get your tyres in the wrong place and put the power down. You're a passenger. It's as simple as that. You become a passenger. You can see how delicate he's going through the S's there. So I'm going to jump forward to Peter. Peter's really got the bit between his teeth. He's taking that aggressive line up the inside of John Saunders. Is he going to get a good line? And there you can. So Chris Bourne has now done a 1:35.9. So it's not bad that for an open lap. And a 1:35.4 by David Gerrard. So David Gerrard's now putting pressure on. And Peter's made it. And Saunders is off. Oh, there's big contact between Saunders and David Gerrard. That's ended up a bit of a disaster. He got too much on the curb, and that's caused his car to rotate. And John Saunders, and there's been, what's going on here? There's been chaos.
Ooh.
Let's have a look. There's been chaos. Saunders has gone to the pits. Just waiting for the replay to come back.
Lars was involved as well. He's going to the pits as
well. So Hughes has come round the corner. He's in the McLaren of Lars is behind Hugh Morris. So there's another bit of an incident here involving a few cars. So Hugh's gone round the corner. So far, so good. Oh, Saunders. Oh, dear. Saunders just sat there, and the drivers aren't been aware of the yellow flags. And that's a couple of cars totaled and a couple of races ruined. What an absolute shame. So Hugh's carrying on, but he's lost a lot of place, and he's actually had a contact with Chris Baker. Wow. And they're all lucky that wasn't lap 1. And there's been a contact at the front. What's happened here? Because there's been a change.
Chris is... Oh, no.
No, there's been a change.
Peter is leading.
Yep, so something happened with Mr. Bourne, and something happened with Mr. Kayola, and I'm hoping I'm going to get it on the replay here. So Chris is way out in front. Oh, he's done exactly the same as his warm-up. He's decided to kiss bonnets with Andrea, and Peter's walked past the pair of them. So that puts Peter well and truly in P1. Wow. And we know Peter, You ain't going to catch him. And if we just look at where we are, Peter's now, he's 1.2 seconds off. And talking about being gifted a race. Wow, wow, wow. Now, more importantly, as Andrea and Chris got damage. And does that mean Nelson and Carlo are going to start playing catch-up? Are we going to see Nelson on the podium for the first time? I don't believe in commentator's curse, but if you guys in the chat do, for a comment, are we going to see Nelson do this?
Well, Andrea doesn't seem to have major damage to the front of his car. So with the pace he has, I think we should not rule him out yet.
Okay, so David Gerrard's just passed Jonathan Wood in the Lamborghini. That makes me think that Jonathan Wood knows he's not racing and he's just getting the experience out there with his injury because he just let him pass there quite easily. So both Lars and John Saunders are now sat in the pits. This is going to damage their points massively. As we know, them guys are running at the top, and Peter's just put in a 134.6, 2 purples and a slow middle sector actually there, according to the laps. Let's go back to the chat, because obviously you're all going to be excited of what's been going on.
But you know what's fascinating here in this race? Four laps into the race, the top 8 drivers are within a second from each other, so everything is still possible.
Okay, so a couple of guys are trying to get in on the pit lane side of things. So Terry T's managed to do it. You've got to have the password of pit lane. If you don't have the password of pit lane, it will not let you in. That's the end of it.
But
you should be able to.
I just thought about something, Mark. The server is locked for the race.
Yeah, there's a filter. You can set though. There's a filter option to allow you to show lot races deliberately.
Okay.
So you need to select that filter. Okay. And Nikos is here. Hi, Nikos.
Hey, Nikos.
I just want to put it out there while Nikos is in the chat. I saw a few posts that were banding around in relation to Nikos and, you know, negative criticism. I think some of it, Nikos, is probably justified. You know, we've said things on the stream. They're never meant to hurt you, my friend. You know, you took a lot on your shoulders. You've took a lot on the chin. I think from my perspective, and I may speak on Jeremy's behalf, you frustrate us because you'll have moments of brilliance and it's almost like you've put a blindfold on all of a sudden. So, you know, we never ever want to be critical of you in a negative way to make you think you don't want to race anymore. That's not how we work and that's not what we believe in. You know, you're a fantastic guy. You're a great laugh. I don't think we would be the same group without you, and I personally believe that. So, you know, if I've ever said anything to hurt you, Nikos, I've never ever meant it that way. I've only ever meant it as you know, an entertainment thing, and I'm sure everybody else feels exactly the same way. Look, we all make mistakes. You know, I've took Rainer Berger out a couple of times. I'm not happy with it. I've just got to get on and move forward. You know, but I think the difference is no one shouts me out for it. Because I stream and you do the incidents, or sometimes you're involved in the incidents, we instantly think, oh, it's Nikos again, and yet it's not always Nikos. So, you know, I'm going to apologise from my perspective if I've ever done anything to hurt and upset you. And I think, Jeremy, you probably agree with that, don't you?
Absolutely, I feel the same way. I think you expressed everything very well, and also, you know, we are all a big family here, and we're starting to know each other pretty well. Mark and I know everyone pretty well because we stream all those races, so we know. And as well, Juan and Jonathan do the same thing. Yes, and some names come up more than others, but Nikos, it's never against you. You are part of this family, and we respect you, and I think you're a very well-liked guy. So never worry about anything. It's all good intention, and you're helping put a great show. That's for sure.
So just what's showing on the stream there, Peter de Jong has managed to do away with Mark Stevens, and he's looking very racy against Krista here in the Porsche, and he's managed to do Krista. He's got to the inside of Krista, and he's having a great run. Off he goes. So Peter's made a couple of places straight off. I'm going to jump forward because Noble is right at the tailpipe. Oh, he's going for the inside. of Carlo, and Carlo's decided he wants a bit of pole dancing because he's took all the poles out on that corner. So I don't know what's on his mind at the moment. And Neil Bywater's joined the party, and Andrea Caiola has also put in pressure on Chris. So it's all kicking off.
Yeah. See, because those Aston Martins do have an edge on this track and these conditions. And here comes Andrea. Here comes Andrea. He's going to pass Chris right there. He's going to go. Yeah, there we go.
This makes me think there's damage. And you can see there Chris is flashing his lights.
Yeah,
so,
could be.
Yeah, I mean, Andrea's pulling away there. I mean, Chris spun. He'd have been T-boned in that. So I don't know how much damage Andrea's taken to the front of his car. But you can see there the performance difference is massive. Andrea's pulling away for fun. So there's definitely got to be damage with Chris's car, in my opinion.
But look at this. Lap 7, and we have actually 7 cars in contention there. They are very close to each other somehow. It's not the huge gap we have usually between P1, P2, and then 20 seconds later we have the rest. Yep. They are still together.
They are indeed. And oh, Nelson's off. Oh, he's managed to keep it going, but he's going to lose 2 places, maybe 3. Oh, that was very close for contact. Neil's looking at the outside. Very risky there, and Neil's off. He's going to be a passenger. Oh, he didn't make contact, and he's off. Neil's really gone too far. He's now spun it.
Yeah,
he's going to lose place after place now. He needs to get that car turned around. Jonathan Wood's going to pass him. He's going to get himself running again. And Tony Whitten's managed to pass him. He's managed to get going just before Peter de Jong in the car passing in the Porsche. And Nelson's going up the inside of David. He's made the pass, but is David going to keep the traction? Both in the Aston. Nelson there just twitching to defend. So Nelson's made a great recovery there. And it could be business as usual. Oh, David Noble, fantastic drive up the inside. But Nelson's still got the inside. If you can get the aggressive line on the inside, this could be Nelson's corner.
He will.
Oh, he's gone deep.
Oh,
he's gifted it to David.
David, very nice. Very nice drive there.
Wow. It's all happening. The beauty of the wet is all I'm going to say. The beauty of the wet. No, Nikos, I think you're making a comment there about what someone put in the chat. I think it might have been Stefan mentioned about he let you past. You've quite openly said your pedals aren't the best and they cause you problems. I think what Stefan's inferring there is he preferred to let you pass than potentially you outbrake yourself because of your pedals. Now, obviously, if you had fantastic equipment, that wouldn't be an option. So I wouldn't take that as an insult and as negative. We've all got a lot of pride on staying on track, and sometimes it's better to back out and let someone pass if you think there's potentially going to be an incident. That could be equipment, it could be driver related. So, you know, don't take it like that in that negative aspect. I fully understand what Stefan's saying, but I also understand it from your side. You've proven these last few weeks you've come on in leaps and bounds, and I've seen that. Leaps and bounds you've come on, Nikos. You've learned, you've listened to everybody, you've took it hard, you've took it on your shoulders, and you decided, I'm going to go forward with this, and you have done. You know, and I'll commend you for that.
Yeah, so look at this. Peter, Andrea, Chris, you know, the top 3 fighting there, and it's going to be very difficult for Peter to keep those Andrea behind him.
I might have just dropped Stefan in it inadvertently. It might not have been Stefan, so Stefan, my apologies. It might have been. I'm trying to work out who it was. Was it Andy Skelton then? My apologies, Stefan. I don't mean to cause any offence if it wasn't you. I'm trying to work out who it was who said what about letting me past. It's hidden in Discord somewhere, so I'm going to struggle trying to find it. Let's see. It might not be you, Stefan. I'm trying to find what it is. Ironically, I'm wondering whether it's now since been deleted. Yeah, I'm just reading the thread where it said it made you feel like a criminal. And I fully understand what you're saying there. No, it was Andy Skelton. Stefan, I'm going to apologise to you, my friend. It was Andy Skelton. I got names mixed up. My apologies for that. I'll always admit when I'm in the wrong. And in that instance, I called you out unnecessarily, Stefan. I did say I think it was Stefan, but it was Andy Skelton, I think. I let Nikos buy me on Friday night because it was safer to leave him in front of me rather than behind me. I felt awful lot safer and finished the race without incident. But I will say, from that post, he's put a load of laughing emojis. That tells me there was a degree of there's a degree of fun in it, really. So Nikos, please don't take things to heart. Just because someone puts it don't think they mean it. There's context to everything. So Neil Bywater now, battle of the Ferraris with Tony Whitten. So Neil lost a lot of time when he over-rotated the car, coming through, I think it was the whole hairpin. So Abramosa is on a charge, is he? Let's see where he is. Yeah, he was gaining on David Noble, but he did lose a place to David Noble, so because he went off. Don Queen's asking how long is the pit window open for?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I probably will double the pit window and make it much longer this time, maybe to open about 10-15 minutes after the start of the race. I'll do that after this race is over.
Hi Don, welcome to the stream. Just to say on Zolder, it's not 50 minutes. It's going to be an hour.
Yeah, it's going to be an hour with a pit stop.
Hugh Morris has just gone off, so he's... in fact, Lars and John Saunders have given up. They've just decided to call it a day.
That's unfortunate.
I think they realise in these I think they realise in these conditions it was going to be a nightmare anyway. 2 minutes is a lap down. You're really unlikely to gain anything because most people spin off and don't really hit the barriers.
Wait! Something happened, Chris.
Oh! Something
happened because Andrea is now P2, less than a second.
Well, Peter's just gone wide.
That's it.
Right, yeah. Nelson is now putting pressure on David Noble again. So there's still a few battles going on.
Yeah, and now there's a gap between P3 and P4. 6 seconds between Chris Bourne and Carlo. And the gap is widening.
I'm just going to put on the position deltas just so you can see. So Peter Wolfslaner, who in qualifying was struggling really. I think we said the Bentley's not the best runner here. He's now 6 places up. And David Gerrard's off. Oh, he's having a nightmare in the PWS Aston Martin. He's gone off. PWS preciouswashers.co.uk. Oh, and he's just trying to defend the inside line, but I feel the 2 Ferraris are going to get the run on him here. So Tony Whitten's going on the outside. No, he's managed to get the traction down there. And I think Neil Bywater at the back just backed out a little bit to stop the contact, knowing full well he's already been off once. So yeah, PWS are ACC TV sponsors, preciouswashers.co.uk. Yeah, Neil Bywater's looking very racy since he's off. Nelson's still putting pressure on David Noble at the moment. And Andrea's 1 second behind Peter. Chris Bourne's 2 seconds behind Andrea. I will do a rundown of the grid in a minute of where cars are. And there's been a pass. Chris Baker's managed to pass. Oh, the inside, that was a bit close. Whew! Chris Baker and Dimitri Stathis there. Really tempting to touch doors, but they didn't. They shook hands as they went past. I think it's fair to say on that one. Chris Baker, as we know, went off before, I think. So Neil's got a good run here. Is he going to manage to take Tony? So they're coming through the Craners now. You can see now the PWS car in front is just disappearing. The Aston's brilliant in the wet. It really is, certainly round here.
Absolutely.
So these two are battling it out, the battle of the Ferraris. Nelson is within half a second. He gains and then loses. I think there's certain corners where Noble's quicker.
Yeah, so Nikos is clearly stating he wants us to stop making fun.
I agree, Nikos. You know, and I'm not gonna personally. I'm not gonna make any comments on the stream. You know, I think I've made comments in the past, and I've used you as reference, which is probably wrong. So you know, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I just want to see you do like you did the other week, where you absolutely annihilated the track and just prove to everyone how good a driver you are. So let's put it behind us, Nikos. Let's move forward as a group.
So Andrea is pressuring Peter. It's going to be very interesting to follow this. And now Chris fell back 4 seconds behind.
Yeah, I think Chris has got
Andrea.
damage. I think Chris has got damage.
You're probably right.
But Carlo's not gaining. So the damage Chris has got isn't enough for Carlo to gain on him at this moment in time. Now we've got 28 minutes to go. Time will tell whether that is as a result of the damage or it's just that the Lexus is struggling in the wet. Good on you, Nikos. Good on you. If you've never used load cell pedals before, they will make a massive difference. Massive, massive difference. Unless they're like mine and fail in the race. The less said about that, the better. But it does mean I'm trying to coerce the wife into saying I can get some new equipment. So, you know, silver linings and all that. Or as they say, potential silver linings.
So Neil is pressuring Tony Whitten right now.
Yeah,
Two Ferraris.
Yeah, he's been close for a while, but we've also got this battle with Nelson and David, which seems to ebb and flow a little bit. So obviously Nelson making that mistake early on as costing, because he was looking potentially good for a podium. And with the speed deficit of the guys in front, I think there's a possibility these Astons could have caught Carlo and Chris. Now, we'll say that could still happen, because David Noble is only 2.5 seconds and is actually closing the gap on Carlo. Now, if he can see Carlo by, he's also got the potential of catching Chris Bourne. Now, can they do that with 26 minutes to go? So
amazingly enough, Peter is maintaining that gap. So he found something during the race that he didn't have in qualifying.
Hi Jorgen, sorry if I've missed you. It's not intentional. There's just so many people in the stream. Hi Jorgen, just want to say
hello.
Welcome to the stream. So David Blythe, there, you got a really valid point. I left foot brake, and I always have done on sim racing equipment. Don't ask me why, I always have done. And it's bizarre because I have an automatic, and it's so tempted to use left foot braking in my road car, but for some reason I just don't do it. It does make a big difference. You know, it allows you to be a bit more, I think, freer with your pedals. You don't have to lift your foot off the same. You know, you can press both brakes at the same time, potentially. So one good trick you can do, certainly in wet weather, is when you're going down the grid at the start, you can press the accelerator and the brake. You only think, well, what's that going to do? It actually warms the discs up, which in turn warms the tyres up. So you get heat in the tyres very, very early on in the start grid. So that's certainly something you can, can make a big difference with. So yeah, Jorgen's here. I tried to compete with you yesterday, Jorgen. I was dominating my race too. If you haven't seen the stream, watch it. All I'll say is technical failure is a biatch. Isn't that right, Jeremy?
So David Gerard is pressuring Jonathan, and by the way, Jonathan now is P8, not doing pretty well considering he's driving with an injury.
So Krista's got a bit racy now. He's catching Peter. Well, I mentioned before, Krista had a bit. Was it the constructors' race he struggled with? Wasn't it? I think Krista struggled with the constructors' race. But he's obviously been doing a lot of practice because he's got that Ferrari that appeals to be nailed now. And I know Peter passed him early on, but he does seem to be putting pressure on Peter. Andrea's just done a 1:33.5, and I did say this.
Wow.
As the race goes on, these guys are going to get close to the qualifying time, and that's
Right.
exactly what Andrea's doing. So let's just have a quick look at the lap comparison of Peter and Andrea, just so you can see the differences. So Andrea's laps are all in the red, and yeah, he did a 1:33. He's a half a second quicker than Peter on that last lap. So that just goes to show you he's gaining. He means business. Now I've got Nelson with a white flag. I'm not too sure the reason why. Oh, he's dropped massively back. Actually, he was racing. Yes, he's lost places because he was racing David Noble. And David Gerrard.
P7 right now. Yeah.
He's lost 2 places, further places, and David Gerrard's just passed Jonathan Wood. As we said, Jonathan knows he's not racing a race today. He's just obviously getting used to his arm and trying to get himself back in the seat. So I think he's letting cars past. He's still doing a great race, 9th position, still some points. Let's jump back to the front and go to the cockpit view. This is what Andreas is currently looking at. He's looking at the back end of a very silvery Bentley. Both getting good traction out that corner. But the gap is dead on a second. So that's not fluctuating at all, even as they come into the corner. In fact, Andrea's braking a little bit later, as you can see there. But Peter's lines are fantastic, and Peter's pulled away a little bit there, as you can quite clearly see on the view. Let's look at it from Peter's perspective. See there, Andrea's trying to battle. These guys are total entertainment, absolutely total entertainment. They do it week in, week out, don't they, Jeremy?
That's right. And we have 2 very strong-minded drivers here, so it's going to be very difficult for Andrea to apply enough pressure for Peter to make a mistake, or vice versa. So let's see. This could be going to the end of the race, and if any of these 2 makes the slightest mistake, it will completely compromise the outcome of the race.
Yeah, you can just see the way they're driving. I mean, Peter's so quick through the S's there. Right, I'm just going to jump back on board with Neil, because Neil's got Tony right in his sights now as he's coming up to Coppice. Can he get the corner cut well enough to get the drive on the outside? No, both drivers have done it absolutely perfectly. So Neil's still looking for a way past Tony Whitten. It goes to show just how close these 2 Ferraris are matched. There's nothing in them. The lap times are very, very similar as well. David saying, don't say that. Girlfriend's very scared. I might do it in the real car. It's ironic, David, you don't actually. I've even thought, can I do it in the real car? And it just doesn't feel right. So I don't know what it is about sim racing. Because I had a friend round to watch, to have a go actually. And he's there pressing the accelerator and the brake with his right foot. And I got on. And he says, you're not changing your feet? I said, no, I'm using my left foot to brake. And his question was, how do you drive your road car? I says, as I normally drive it.
Yeah, Mark and I were talking before the broadcast about that new upgrade coming to ACC Wednesday, the 24th. New engine and new patch and new DLSS drivers, etc. And it looks like the dynamic of the cars is going to change. So next weekend we could see a little change as well among us. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, all interesting. It'd be nice to get DLSS going. Oh, Neil's made a mistake. Neil is off. So after putting pressure on Tony Whitten, he's now 7. And Stevens has passed him.
Yes.
So he's now dropping down the leaderboard. One little mistake, and that's all it takes.
Yeah, it's sad also to see John Saunders and Lars in the pits.
It
I
is
mean,
indeed.
unfortunately, they weren't able to complete their race, and they were doing good, and they qualified pretty well as well. Anyway, it's part of racing, I guess.
I should imagine
And now,
oh, sorry, I was
yeah,
just going to say to Terry, I think the setups will carry on working, Terry, but I think it's just going to be the dynamics of the car that's going to be totally different. So your setups will work, but you will need to adjust them. I think it's fair to say. Sorry, go on, Jeremy, but over to you.
no, it's okay. David is pressuring Carlo, and once again, it's Aston against Bentley for P5 and P4, and then Andrea and Peter. So very interesting to see. The only different car, the only Chris is the only Lexus on the track, and he's doing phenomenal as well in P3.
I just watching Noble there with Carlo. Massive difference in the braking. The Aston is braking phenomenally well compared to the Bentley. Just watch him under braking. He gains so much time. He's gained massively there in the Melbourne hairpin. He's gaining so much time under braking compared to the Bentley. The Aston is just nailed. I mean, he's got the drive out of that corner really well as well. Look at the drive difference. Noble's really going for it here. Really going for it. Look at the difference here. And you'll see him probably dive up the inside because he can brake later.
Ooh, they are so close.
They are. He's looking like he really wants this. Noble. He's thinking to himself, 17 minutes. Can he dispatch of Carlo and then go for Chris Bourne? Unlikely, but you don't think like that when you're racing, do you?
It's very difficult.
Look at
to
the
follow
speed
this
difference
one,
there.
Yes. Yeah. But
Massive speed difference.
It's still very difficult to follow someone close in these conditions. Very difficult.
It is. Let's jump to Noble. I mean, we know Noble's using the bonnet cam. We know that because he's not got his windscreen wipers on. And you couldn't race like that. So this is what Noble's looking like. He's either looking at that one or he's using that one to drive.
You know, it's funny because mentioning this, the DLSS, the new NVIDIA with Assetto Corsa Competizione, they show a video of the car in the rain with the wipers working and the rain falling, and you see no drops on the windshield, and I'm going, how come?
Oh, right. Not seen that. I think it's one of them. We'll all Nikos is on about the change logs there. I think when them change logs comes out, we're all going to be dissecting them, aren't we? I mean, David Blythe's comment there is absolutely spot on, to be fair. We're all you guys, not me. I'm away for the next 3 days, so I can't practice, and I'm back on the 25th, so I'll have the update by then. You're all going to sit there. You're all going to sit there and practice. You're going to get your laps in tomorrow in the warm up. You're going to do the constructors on Tuesday, GT4s on Wednesday, and then Thursday comes. You're going to be going, "What the hell are we driving?" It's all going to be different.
Yeah, I believe the 25th is we all gonna know where we are, because until that new patch comes out, nothing will be accurate.
Yeah. Now, interesting there, Carlo got his left rear on the paint, but it didn't cause his car to spin out. He actually gained a load of time as a result of it.
Yeah, see, both Carlo and Peter found a way to keep their car ahead. I mean, you know, it's really amazing, because you know, I see Andrea is getting closer and then losing ground in certain parts of the circuit when he completely dominated the qualifying. But he might have damaged his car when he collided with Chris Bourne.
And there's been a change. Noble's past Carlo.
He has.
So let's have a quick look at that. We all completely missed that. We're all sat there sleeping and not paying attention. Let's see that pass. And have I timed it right so we get to see it? We have indeed. So we can see he's coming down here. Oh, Carlo's gone deep. Into the final corner of Goddard. He's gone really deep. He's gifted that. Absolutely gifted that to David Noble there.
That's right.
So this begs the question, have the tyres just started to go away? Not too sure.
And it's funny you said that because Andrea is right behind Peter right now.
Yep, there you go. Straight onto that one. And Peter's gone defensive. You don't often see Peter going defensive, but look at the difference in drive. Look at the difference.
Wow.
That's the two Bentleys both struggling now with 13 minutes to go.
At the same time, almost at the same time.
Oh, I think this is tyres. It's ironic that they've both gone at almost a drop of a hat at the same time. That's got to be tyres, got to be, because the Aston's tyres were superb around here. Where's this going to take us? There's no other battles going on, so we're going to stay with this one. I'm not even going to go down the grid at the moment because we could be having a leader change.
That's right, and right now P3 is 9 seconds away. So really it's a battle between Andrea and Peter.
And I will say, Noble's gaining on Chris Bourne. Oh, he's just gone deep there, Andrea.
Yeah.
He will not have got the traction out, and that has allowed Peter to gain half a second gap from that as a result of going deep into that corner. He can't put the power down on the paint, unfortunately. It will just spit you out, and Andrea knew that, so he didn't tempt fate there. I think it's this corner. Where's the other corner where it spits you out? It's McLean's. If you hit the paint at McLean's, it will spit you out and put you into the barrier. So there's a couple of corners where you just can't play. Peter's taking really nice angles, but they are absolutely identical at that point. Andrea's got it all to do again now. So Don knows what he's doing for Thanksgiving. I wonder what Harry's done. Get a bit of practice in for that Group 3 race. So I'm hoping to be back to stream the Thursday Porsche Cup. I'm hoping to do the Friday Group 3 race and the Sunday Group 1 race. The following week I should be okay, with the exception of the Friday the 3rd. So unfortunately I can't do the Group 3 race on the Friday the 3rd.
Well, maybe Juan will be willing to do that. We'll see.
Terry's just saying the Bentley traction control kills it out the hairpins. Oh, David Noble's off. And who's that? Who sat at the side of the track?
Ooh.
Oh, that was David Noble, sorry. I clicked on the wrong car. So Noble's lost the place to Carlo. And Derek is now looking racy. Is Derek going to take Noble? Nah, I think he's got it in hand there. Just goes to show, though. You know,
it doesn't take much.
The Group 3 and the Group 2 guys thought they were the only ones going off track. These are the aliens. They can make mistakes too. They are only human. Don Queen. Eat turkey, sleep, practice, repeat. That sounds like a good deal to me, that. Love me turkey. Wife makes a fantastic Christmas dinner. So it's one of the few things, you know, Christmas Day is always hard work. You know, it's a long day. Not so much now with the kids being a bit older. Well, the kids being adults almost, apart from my daughter. Always used to love the Christmas dinner, though. One of the best things about it. And Nelson's just put in a 1:33.5, the fastest lap.
Amazing. Well, it shows that that Aston Martin is getting better as you race, you know, and with 10 minutes left, I think Andrea has a chance.
I think when I was racing yesterday, I was in the 134.7s, and I could have pushed a lot more, but I knew it was risky. So I think you get to that limit where you think it's safer not to push any further. I think you said the same, didn't you, Jeremy? You get to the point where you think, I can keep the car on track. Unless I'm racing, there is absolutely no point in pushing any further.
Exactly.
Now, Peter was probably taking it easy, but the second Andrea turned up, Peter's probably now pushing, as is Andrea. So they're pushing and pushing and pushing. So that, ironically, both Peter and Andrea have done a 133.8. So they are absolutely flying. And the last lap, Peter did a 134 and Andrea did a 133.7. So Andrea is catching on Peter again, and you can see it quite clearly there. The Aston's definitely got the legs on the Bentley. It's not often you say that. It's not often you say that, but in the wet, I'd say the Aston's the car to pick. It seems to handle the corners and the little curbs as if they're not there. And I don't know what it is about the Bentley. It just seems to struggle having to slow down. You can see the difference in slowing down there. Look at the difference.
So you know what we have to do, Mark, for the rest, for the remainder of the season, right?
It's all wet, heavy rain. That's it. Is that what you implied, Jeremy?
That's right.
Oh, Andrea's got a good run here. He's got a good run. He's got a cracking run. Peter's gone defensive. As I said, you don't see Peter going defensive often. Oh, he's got him. He's got him. He's got him.
Here he comes.
Oh, look at that, door to door.
Yeah,
Shake hands, gentlemen, as you go past. Peter's not giving up. Andrea's gone a little bit deeper there, but he's got a good run. He's got a good run. Absolutely. Wow.
I'm not surprised 1 second actually that Aston is oof.
I thought Peter was going for the dive up the inside.
Yeah, me too. That was good. And now we're gonna see Andrea pulling away. You're gonna see.
Okay. Andrea's I don't know who you are, sorry, whether your child or relative, but Alessandro Caola's observers watching and just put nice.
Oh, his son, yes.
Oh, it's your son. Hi, Caola, Alessandro. We've had good numbers on this stream today, actually. I think we peaked at 35. That could be a record.
Very nice.
Don't forget,
very nice.
If you haven't already, click like. And if you haven't already, subscribe and get it shared amongst your family and friends. This is top quality racing. And, you know, I've seen a lot of races online. I don't think anyone races like the eSeniors do. Gentleman racing at its best. And entertaining as well.
Absolutely.
So another shout out to our sponsors of ACC TV. PWS Clean Equipment, preciouswashers.co.uk. Really pleased to be able to say that on a regular basis now. It does make a difference to us and allows us to carry on giving you this service. Me and Jeremy have a vision with eSeniors, and one of the visions was we need to get a sponsor. Now, a sponsor could be anything. You know, we had so many ideas. We were talking about seniors, and some of them were laughable, but you know, when someone volunteers to be a sponsor, you think, hold on, is this the start? And if we get their numbers out there, we could make the whole of eSeniors self-dependable purely on the streaming. That's where we need to be as a group, and we will just grow. Oh, and Derek's gone wide, and Nelson's passed him. Nelson's made a move on Derek. So Nelson has now moved up into 6th place. Great pass, great pass. Thanks for that, John.
Peter, you can see, I'm sorry, you can see that Peter is really pushing hard now because he's taking risks he wasn't taking before, trying to stay with Andrea.
So before we joined, me and Jeremy talked about this, didn't we, Jeremy? About that happy balance.
Yes.
And we said the difference in pushing is a mistake, especially in these conditions. So I think this is where we've got 4 minutes to go. Peter is really trying to... I mean, look at that now. Andrea's gone. He's braking later, and I think it's the late braking that's giving him the opportunity here to pull away. the Aston just brakes much better. Yeah, John Wilson's just saying he watches these seniors races more than real racing on TV. Well, thank you for that. I do hope we give you good value for that as well. You know, just a bunch of old blokes, with the exception of one who's a young bloke. We do try our best. We're not professionals at this, so it is all just fun.
No, but our races are way more entertaining. I tell you, I watched the F1 race this morning. I'm a big F1 fan, and but the race was boring this morning. I'm sorry to say. You know, I mean, I'd rather watch an eSenior race. There's a lot more things happening.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes some of the GT4 races are quite quiet, and the stream shows that because I think it's an easier car to drive, and we know who the front runners are in them. But when you've got these conditions, and we've got the Group 1, the Group 2, and the Group 3 races, they are so unpredictable. You only have to look at last night for that, you know, with myself. They are so unpredictable, you just don't know what's going to happen from one lap to the next. You know, before today, you know, when I was racing at Imola, Terry caught me, passed me, and then I caught Terry and passed him. You have no idea. I don't see streams from other racing groups where you see that level of entertainment. You know, considering we're all a bunch of old people, and what you say in the chat there, some really good comments. You know, Nikos saying we're gentlemen racing, a great community, and I think Peter David just said you're more emotionally connected to the friends on the track, and I do think it's that sort of thing. Jeremy, when he started this, he probably had this vision, this ethos of how he wanted it to go. I honestly would think, Peter slid then. I honestly think this has probably gone beyond your own expectations, Jeremy, in the short space of time.
Absolutely, 100%, yes. Absolutely, but you know, I believe also this community is so amazing. I mean, and everyone is bringing so much to it. It's a real pleasure, and also we have a lot of input from everyone. You know, ideas coming from everyone, and that helps. That helps the community grow and become stronger, and races will be more and more entertaining as we go, that's for sure.
I do like Joe Wilson's comment there, though. I would love to watch an F1 race with Juan, Mark, Jeremy and Jonathan Wood commentating. Could you imagine?
That's a good one.
It'd be like Murray Walker. Oh, but I'll tell you what, if that opportunity ever arisen, I'd be out that door, I'd be doing it. Wherever around the world, yeah. I would do it.
Sure. That's for sure. But I tell you though, I mean, right now, if you look at F1, I mean, it's only happening between two drivers, right? I mean, we know there's 3 races left, and it's between Lewis and Max. So there's not much to talk about technically, you know. I mean, and the strength between each team is so huge. I mean, it's a different dynamic.
Give it all you can.
And here we come into the last lap. Yeah. Let's jump on board with Andrea. Andrea's had a sterling race, I think it's fair to say. Let's see him over the last lap now. We haven't done driver of the day. We do driver of the day. I might be able to get it quickly knocked up. Anybody? Are we putting any votes forward quickly?
Andrea is my driver, that's for sure.
Anybody else? Right, let's see if I can get Andrea up there. Right, interestingly, I don't have a photograph of Andrea, so that causes me a bit of a problem. For some reason, I've never had a picture of Andrea, so I wonder if we've got another picture somewhere else of him then.
It will be on the website, but
yeah, but some of them on the website, not all of them have. I'll do what I did with I think Derek Bird. I don't have one of Derek Bird either. But what I do tend to do is I just do I think a helmet, put what I'll do is I'll just put a name up. So let me just.
And here he comes across
Yeah.
the start-finish line.
Yeah.
Very well done, Andrea.
I'm struggling, but I will get there.
Beautiful race, Peter, as well. And great race from Chris Bourne as well. Excellent P3. Really. Very nice. Carlo is coming into P4. Very nice race as well, Carlo. Well done. David Noble, P5. Well done.
It's not letting me do what I want to do, so we'll shout it out there. Drive of the day, Andrea Caiola. I do need to get a photograph of him, and then I can do the proper driver of the day. So my apologies for not having that set up, Andrea. I do tend to have all the drivers set up. For some reason I can't find yours. We've got Jonathan Wood coming over. Big shout out to Jonathan there, fellow commentator. He's given it a try this week. He said he was still struggling a little bit. He's made it happen. He's finished in the top 10. So good shout out there for Jonathan. Fantastic effort. Mark Stevens is coming over the line, as you can see there. Hopefully he's not going to spin off and hit all the cars and affect their SA at the end. That's the other thing you can do. He's realised. But don't hit the barrier. And then we've got Chris Baker and Dimitri Stathis coming over. Dimitri coming round, and Hugh's already been classified as a result of being lapped. I think that is. So Hugh has been lapped. I think. Yeah. Wow. Well, that was
nice race.
Very entertaining. It didn't let us down. And I hope you enjoyed that all.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great week, and we'll catch you all on the next stream.
Absolutely.
That's a bye from me.
Goodbye, everyone.